Hello everybody. Today I am making a video in memory of Bonnie and Clyde. I have written an epic poem called Carnation, which I would like to share with you. Bonnie Elizabeth Parker, October 1st, 1910. Clyde Chestnut Barrow, March 24th, 1909. I will start today by whistling the ballad of Bonnie and Clyde. Then I will read the poem for you. Thank you. Okay, well that was the ballad for Bonnie and Clyde. Well, this is the epic poem that I've written in their memory. The name of the poem is Carnation. Swell you've come to know me, Clyde Barrow, the Texan man. Frills with pretty Bonnie, robbing banks, our general plan. Was till now the early 30s, America's depression, farming hard that harrow hand. Our time in jail served by right, me parman, a gun and stand. East Ham was my started stay, seeing tall bully Big Ed. I straightened a lead pipe, leaving him feeling bloody dead. I was only there for stealing autos, turkeys good tasting, escaping nothing vile. Now I'm like a rattlesnake, yeah my innocence, no denial. For worst I chopped some toes, blatant fear in those 14 years. Mama wrote so kindly, toiling hard labor, and in all fear. Now Bonnie was a sweetheart, always my love by my side. Come along and we'll show you our crimes countrywide. We'll be needing wheels, something fine, say a Ford, deluxe a V8, a sedan carrying the horde. We've got our guns, just a few I can say, my Browning and Colt, loaded for the pay. We'll be traveling a company, 5 in all, the Barrow Gang, public enemy, we're called. I got this ball rolling, beginning with a friend of mine, Ralph folks from East Ham, while doing time. We had a plan, a raid on East Ham, robbing stations and stores, guns out firing, dollars for the score. Now Bonnie and Ralph went on looking for more guns. Down in Kaufman, seen them both undone. Bonnie was in there, the county jail, 2 months her rhyme. Folks took the brunt, seeing only bars his pine. For all the same, I got my driving looking getaway fast. J.M. Busher, well, he went down, sounding a blast. I shot him from the car not far from the store. His wife told the cops, this is Hillsborough, that Barrow you can't ignore. As on my toes with dancing really wasn't my type of thing. Drinking moonshine in the light, got us Sheriff Maxwell and his deputy Eugene. Thinking about it, this was around Stringtown's August 5. The country dance was hey yodeling, boots alive. With Ross and Raymond seeing them crossing our way, I said to myself, draw the Colt, Barrow, it's time to slay. Now with Christmas Merry coming along rightly a jingle bell, Jones, my good old friend, joined me and Bonnie for an eve of hell. We were looking for a present, say vintage a car we could steal. Temple was the place. Doyle Johnson took a bullet in the deal. It said he was a young man, family of type. Well, his Christmas Day backfired, glowing red through the tailpipe. Feeling fate a wrong passing was their New Year, January 6th of 33. We could have mistaken a trap laid down by Deputy Davis, waiting in glee. I said to Jones and Bonnie, "What's the chance this is all for someone else?" In the blink of his eye, I fired before he could pounce. So the heat now on us and those miles passing by, we started looking for that shady place where we all could lie. Missouri stoned out forth down a Joplin Oak Ridge way. March 22nd was about boozing, dealing card games to play. Lucky Buck, my brother, and Sister Blanche came along to say, advising the other, crime ain't the dice, Clyde, you play. Telling them, I said, the folks round here, yeah, they can hear us all night. I've even fired the bar Browning while inside cleaning the side. Blanche replied, knowing the bear being drunk, a case of day seeing them, looking like bootleggers skunk. It was a tip from a nosy neighbor who got a whiff of what was going on. Said when the cops outside pulled up, raging 5-man strong. I signaled to Buck and Jones, we got to take 'em all down. Blow 'em with the shotgun. Harry D, he knows the falling sound. Fingers Harriman ringing on the doorbell. He's kissing, April's 13, the ground. Pretty Bonnie, she's got the idea and firing that bar with a fine little touch. Sergeant Kayla's facing spitting splinters, growing from the old oak, too much. Now it was high time we'd better make a getaway. 5 in the car, so come along. Blanche had Snowball on the lead, while bullets ricocheted, suicide cell, Bonnie's song. After their firing 14 rounds, they found our photographs, glamour revolver, the cigar Bonnie frowns. Buck was losing his parole papers, Bonnie's poem, getting the globe spinning round. America's seeing us, yeah, boasting, how crimes abound. So with these wheels fast turning, there's no going back. We've been riding from Texas through to Minnesota, dollars prosper our track. Banks will be doing 12 or so, maybe more. Lucerne, Indiana, robbing Okabena, our guns will draw. I've got my suitcase and a Thompson sax in the trunk, ready for the ballot if we both go down for the dunk. Jones will be leaving us for just a short while. We'll be stealing an auto, Stones and Darby, they're riding along with us, cherry companions in style. We'll drop them off, giving them puny money, just enough for far walking home. They'll remember us like embalming, yeah, gravely to the bone. Of passing June 8th, I can see it's brought Jones, my friend, back on board. I missed the road sign, rolling the Ford, leaving acid over Bonnie's leg, unsightly being poured. Jones had to say, will she live or will she die? Clyde, you'll have to carry her. In that photo, all implied. Lifting, we got some help from a family on a farm close by. We took that Sheriff George Corey and Marshal Poor Hardy. For handcuffs and barbed wire they'll try. With all this branching going on, it's about time we met up with Buck and Blanche, family again. Over at the Red Crown Court, 5 in the cabin, finally we're pinned. I backed the car in for that gangster to get away. Neil Hauser, the owner, drew his suspicions over our coins being paid. He could see the newspaper written and Blanche's riding breeches on display. He beckoned Captain Baxter. This is the Barrow Gang. Bring an armored car and Thompson's for the spray. If I was guessing right, it was dark dawning around 11 p.m. I could see a bunch of cops moving towards our cabin pen. And seeing their drum Thompsons, I knew the beat was going all wrong. I loaded my shortened bar. Tonight's going to be blazing, Sheriff Kofi and his gun is throng. After firing my aim down C-Spi's blowing horn, they took a staring turn, looking like blue chickens forlorn. I floored the pedal down, getting away from the bullet scene. Heading for Iowa, Dexfield Park rides the amusement theme. Brother Buck got blown with a headshot to his brain. Blanche was seeing through tainted glasses, blinded in her pain. We got there camped on July 24. I looked on at Jones. Let's be digging his grave. Buck's almost on heaven's door. Now all these folks gathered round, and the cops came along too. Them bloody bandages gave us away. Yeah, they're the Barrow Gang we can view. We got ourselves going, Bonnie Jones and my footloose self. Buck took the final bullet, looking back sadly on his health. Sister Blanche grappled her capture. Bars alone, she's lying on a shelf. Now as we'll be roaming round just a bit out of our way, climbing west to Rocky, Colorado, Files, Mississippi, them banks gonna pay. Standing bow tie tellers looking shy cagey. Stewart's vote, holding the rest, they'll say. So I've got these barrels loaded and in reach for some more guns. We're over at Plateville inside Bullett's Armory, taking bars and hold-up handguns under the seat for the run. August is just about passing. September's on its way. We're heading back to Dallas. Throwing that bottle's no joke, my family always say. Cummy, we'll be bringing some money. So much love you, I wish we could stay. Jonesy be parting our company back to his mama. Houston bars, ties lonely dismay. Now I can feel that air changing, coming autumn, it's crisp and thin. I'll be doing a few more robberies with local sharps and their kin, while my family and Bonnie's taking care of her. She's looking a little meager and wearing somewhat grim. Of advantage thinking back, luck would have taken it, being our way. It was so as Texas, November 22nd, when Smoot nearly blew us away. Outside town I was passing by, looking for my family's car on the verge. I got this ill feeling, knowing something was on the purge. After going on by, we ducked for the firing line. Bursting Thompsons were ablaze, a bar's bullet biting our legs. Oh yeah, only a graze. We got the hint and hit the road that night. Surely before long, there's going to be another ambush. Hammer's trigger our fried. So grandeur was our year, say beginning of 34. Getting my back on Texas, East End's breakout, being soulfully the sore. I covered my friends Hamilton, Metman, and Joe Parma, working hard on the farm, opening with the Thompsons, barrel style and charm. The Major drove crossing, well he got shot on January 16 that day. Parma pulled the trigger, ending the fray. The prison's Lee Simmons vowed he'd be hunting us all down, with the righteous of the Lone Star and the government feeling profound. So corrections would have it, Hammer had the job of nailing us both down, together with his posse, Elkin Jordan, Hinton, and Goat. Old Prentice, not forgetting his bullet I found. We'll be just ahead of him by say a town or two. I know our time's brewing, after Sowers was my view. Loving Bonnie, well she'll hold my hand, yeah, before it's all through. I'm feeling via the grapevine, we're at the crossroads this Easter Sunday, out on Route 114. Two-wheeling cops patrolling, H.D. Murphy and Edward Bryant, had me calling a killing scene. Let's take them, I said, sly gruffly my voice. Poor old Henry was mistaken, yet fired his choice. Normally we'd only take him out for riding the day. Reserved for them, it's shocking, like the electric chair, they all say. Bonnie got her final bounce on Rookie Murphy, the farmer says, laughing as a child, like with a rubber ball she plays. Rewards were getting offered, $1,000 and $500 more, starting with L.G. Forrest and Governor Mel Ferguson for their deplore. Expressly, we're saying, sincerely sorry to the fiancée in her funeral dress. The wedding's off now, it's only ribbons and bows for the photo press. Well, as lasting was our stand, 5 days on, and things weren't looking too good. We weren't far from Commerce, Oklahoma, when we took down Cal Campbell, a widower, constable, and father now understood. Medvin was saying he was around 60 years old. Our warrant was reading, Barrow Bonnie Parker and a ghostly John Doe. Percy Boyd came along, yet chiefly just for the ride. We dropped him in Kansas, gave him a new shirt and a few bucks for his pride. Bonnie got to telling him she ain't smoking no cigars. Go tell the world, it'll only leave you with backing holes and scars. As history would write it, Bonnie was doing like us just the same. Pulling the trigger, oh yeah, showing no shame. Friendly Henry got off back at Chevroport alone. We had a party coming up at Black Lake Sound. We're together again, heading to Gibbsland, our ending unbeknown. Being today May 23, I can feel it, it's going to be sales our last. It's early morning at Mark Canfield, and I've ordered sandwiches, mine bologna, before the blast. We're getting along by Louisiana's Highway 154. I can see old Ivy Medvin with his truck stalled like a boat on the shore. I said to Bonnie, there's Ivy waving just ahead. She grasped my hand and cried. I was seeing her reason. This was our ambush, bullets instead. I saw a bunch of barrels rise up from the brush. They emptied everything at us. Now our blood was going to gush. Oakley got the first shot from his rifle ramming through my head. Bonnie started screaming. Knowing all was ending, I was dead. They plundered the Ford with near 130 rounds. 26 shots hitting Barney, and 17 more for me were bound. Our spirits are still here and can recall all that day of hearing the ballad and words, "It's death for Barney and Clyde, sadly to folks, they'll always say." Okay, well that is the epic poem, Carnation, in memory of Bonnie and Clyde. As I have said on my Facebook page, I am the reincarnation of Clyde Chestnut Barrow. I have the spirit also of two other people, John Edwin Ashley Williams from The Great Escape, and believe it or not, I've written an epic poem for the Cray brothers, one of the Cray twins, Reggie Cray. Reggie Cray, I believe, came to me in London with my father. We were painting a flat in London when we came from New Zealand, and the basement flat was the gang house for the Cray brothers, and I remember the spirit entering me there when we were doing the painting inside the first floor apartment of this building. The second spirit, John Edwin Ashley Williams, came to me at Brands Hatch whilst racing in the Formula Ford Festival in 1994, the last time I raced my car. I felt the spirit come to me there, and I believe this was the spirit of John Williams. And the final spirit, well, I suppose the first spirit in context of years, was Clyde Chestnut Barrow. And I was travelling across America in a Ford Transit van, V6 powered Ford Transit van. It was a rather slow van. I started in Baltimore, Delaware, and I ended in Los Angeles, California. And I would drive as far as I possibly could each day. Normally I would stop in a lit area, a service station or just somewhere lit for security. But one night I thought, well, I'll just see how far I can physically drive, because I was really getting through the miles and it was good. I was getting there to California. It's a long, long way to go. And so I kept going, and I ended up missing, the lit areas, and I was sort of in a desert area. I believe it would have been somewhere in Utah, I would say, Utah. And I was so exhausted, there was literally nothing left of me. I pulled into this area and it was pitch dark. I thought, this is no good, but I realized there was just nobody there, so it would be okay. So there was nothing more I could do. I had to sleep, and I just, as you say, crashed or hit the sack across the front seats of the van. And within about 20 seconds of this, lying on the front seats, I heard someone stand on a stone outside the driver's door. And I wasn't afraid of a confrontation, because I realized that there was just literally nobody there. But I realized that this was a ghost. And obviously I was afraid. I thought, I don't need this. But I just lay there, just with my eyes open, and the spirit entered the side of the van, at the rear of the van. And I describe this as like a soda can being crushed for American viewers. It was more like a 44-gallon drum, just like a bong sound, like a drum makes, combined with a sort of a crushing, a buckling type of sound as the spirit actually entered the van. You would normally think a spirit would be silent and just enter the van, but it actually made a sound as it came through the van. I even thought that possibly this may have emulated possibly the sound of the bullets spiritually. Maybe the sound of the bullets, that riddled the car. Maybe it made the same type of sound, an entry sound into the steel, like that. Maybe that was signified in that particular manner. But the spirit came into the van, and I was lying there, and the spirit was it just hovered above me, and just entered into me, and I felt the spirit enter into me, and I really realized what had happened, and I just said to myself, oh well, there's just nothing I can do about it. I will either wake up tomorrow better or worse from this experience. And later in life, as you can see on my Facebook page, I've gone to Poland. I have, in fact, I believe for certain, I have seen the reincarnation of Bonnie Elizabeth Parker. And this young woman, I mean, this is it's a personal thing to speak of. It's privacy in due respect of this woman. I saw this woman in the town of Żagań, Poland, and I've explained, I believe, the connection that I had at Rondo Autogaz and meeting the girl in Żagań is emulated on the Texan flag, the red and white of the Polish flag on the Texan flag. I also have thought that the name Żagań, pronounced with a strong Texan accent, would be Żagań, and America is born on the gun, and as Americans say, go get your gun, go get Żagań, go get Żagań, like your gun, Żagań. I sort of deduced that idea from that, and I thought that might have a connection with specifically with Żagań. I hope in the future I can meet this girl, this young woman, because it's very important for history. It's important for reincarnation, and I think it will be a very, very positive bond for America and Poland. So I really do hope that eventuates. The young woman, in fact, when I first saw her, she was wearing the same clothes as Bonnie Parker, exactly the same. Well, not exactly the same, but the same style. It was a mini skirt that the young woman was wearing, but it was all the same style. Her hairnet, everything was exactly right, and I could even see through her makeup, what I could see was an oval in her face that looked like a ghost oval, and that's what really confirmed to me that this was the girl. This was definitely the reincarnation. As I say, I hope in the future I can meet this girl and we can do a video together. I can read the poem of the girl in the girl's presence, because it is very, very important, I would say, for America, for American history, and for American people to see this. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed the video today, and I will more than likely make some other videos in the future if I get hold of some replica guns, maybe the Thompson and the Browning and the Colt, which I should really have for my reincarnation spirit. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you next time.